Curse of Peladon remains one of the all-time Doctor Who greats. An intriguing, clever story with genuine emotion thrown in. And like a lot of big hits, it tends to have something that's common in Hollywood. It's the unnecessary sequel. The Doctor returning to Peladon 50 years after events in the first story could have been interesting, and may have enabled him to face the consequences of his earlier actions. The entire galaxy has now changed its energy source, and has now become completely dependent on a mineral found only on Mars and Peladon. Incidentally, the mining on Peladon has up till now been done by hand. This makes net zero seem almost sane by comparison. This story falls victim to a problem which quite often reared its head during Jon Pertwee's time as the Doctor. Basically, it tries to deliver a big moral or political message and ends up shooting itself in the foot. In this case, it's the plight of the striking miners, which in the 1970s ended with the 3-day week and power cuts. It kind of discredits itself, because the working classes of Peladon, or at least the miners, seem to be short, dim-witted men who all have identical haircuts, which seems to suggest they're some kind of genetically inferior subspecies. And they're also being duped by enemy agents. They are being led to believe their god, Agador, is angry and killing them, when in fact the apparition they see is actually a statue containing some kind of mechanical device which is being controlled by mining engineer Eckersley, who incidentally is in league with Galaxy 5, who want to lay their hands on the rare minerals. We never actually see Galaxy 5, and we're not even given any clue as to who or what they are. There is no attempt to further develop the world of Peladon. It just seems to be Peladon by numbers. The Doctor and Sarah Jane first arrive and are suspected of being spies, but fortunately the ambassador from Alpha Centauri, who knows the Doctor from his previous visit to Peladon, can vouch for him. Just a minute there. At the end of Curse of Peladon, wasn't the Doctor revealed as a fake when the real ambassador from Earth turned up, and he was forced to make a quick exit into the TARDIS? Oh, never mind. This story seems in two minds as to whether it wants people to remember the first Peladon tale. We're made to suspect the High Priest of being a collaborator with the villains, for no better reason than because in the first Peladon the High Priest was a bit dodgy. But on the other hand, a cliffhanger ends with Agador confronting the Doctor, despite the fact that anyone who's seen Curse of Peladon will know he knows how to placate it. Also, there is something mysterious and green lurking behind frosted glass. Last time the Doctor was on Peladon, the Ice Warriors were here, and there's something green lurking about. Whoever could it be? Well, I know who the smart money certainly isn't on.
But none of them know half as much as intelligent Mr. Toad.
Sarah Jane is lumbered with a lot of rather heavy-handed women's lib talk, which is also kind of contradicted by the story, given the fact that the only other female character just comes across as a complete drip. And her feminist plan to outwit the villains is to, pretend to faint. You go, girl! The Ice Warriors arrive at the end of episode 3. It was obvious they were going to turn up, but they still feel as though they've been dragged out to save a story which is frankly going nowhere. There's a lot of running around caves, a lot of captures and escapes, and in one episode the Doctor seems to have been replaced by some scruffy man in a grey wig. It's the stunt double, of course, but the fact that no attempt has been made to hide that just makes you wonder whether the production team still had any interest in this story by this point. The best thing in this story by far are the Ice Warriors. Alan Benyon, in his third appearance as an Ice Warrior commander, puts in a superb performance and manages to make him subtly different from the previous two Ice Warrior commanders. But overall this story is long and it just drags. The attempt at a political message just seems forced. It was nice to see the Ice Warriors back to their villainous ways, but it's a shame really that they couldn't have been in a story that did them justice.